Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Jupiter James. This is my channel where I do what I want, when I want, and today I want to talk about astrology. So this is going to be the 10th part to my Through the Signs series, and today we're going to talk about the 10th house, which is my favorite house, the career house. And this is the midheaven and the top of your chart. So this is going to be more centered around your career and your destiny and who you are in the public sphere, in the public sector of your life, and what legacy you are meant to leave behind. So let's get into it. So the first sign being Aries in the 10th house, this is going to mean that you are going to be a very person in your career who is very possibly competitive, or your job is going to require you to compete, or it's going to have a lot of war, a lot of fire in it, it's going to require a lot of passion out of you. It's going to be something that is also probably will tire you out. You're probably going to be someone who is probably an athlete in the military, a motivational speaker, someone who ignites or pioneers something new. Like you either want to be the best at something or not at all. I've seen people with Aries in the 10th house be they like to do it alone, and they like to be the best, and they want to be very passionate about it as well. So this can mean anything. This is also the sign of entrepreneurship, because again, with Aries is very confident and independent, and they're not going to want someone over them as far as like a boss or someone who is superior to them. So this is going to make for someone who has a very entrepreneurial spirit, and that can lend itself into any realm. But the person, whatever they do, they're going to try to be in fields where they are self-autonomous. They control themselves. The money comes all to them, for them, by them, from them. Like it's all about them in their career. So I would also suggest that look up where Mars is in your chart. Where your 10th house Lord is in your chart could also help you kind of deduce or dissect what exactly your chosen field could be. Moving on to Taurus. Taurus is probably going to be someone who is into art or music, like an art handler or a banker, or possibly like a construction worker, or someone who builds something and grows something over time. This could also be someone who cultivates beauty, tangible beauty like art or modeling or photography, anything that is tangible and beautiful and like growing things over time. That would be what Taurus in the 10th house would be. But this is also going to be someone who is building a legacy slowly over time, and it's going to be someone who's probably very slow moving and very consistent, very steadfast, someone who is very like, they don't mind doing the hard, slow grind to get to where they want to be, because they know the ultimate goal will amount to something great. So that would be Taurus in the 10th house, or Taurus midheaven. With Gemini being in the 10th house, this is going to lend qualities of Mercury. So whenever Mercury is in the 10th house, this is going to give someone the ability to speak to the public, or someone who is speaking in the public. This could be a politician, a writer, an author, someone who probably is very social. They're probably always zipping around and relaying information to someone. So this could be a secretary, a lawyer, a scribe. Like, you know, the people that work in law who aren't speaking, but they're taking down like the words that are happening in the court. That could be someone or something that a Gemini in the 10th house. It could be singing. It can be anything that the career makes the person express or talk or use their words to get through. And I know that's very ambiguous, but with these things, you would be surprised at how many people have the same midheaven, but it manifests differently just according to what else is in the chart, right? So with Gemini though, being the midheaven, more times than not, this person's going to be known for their words, their speech, or their writing. And that, in my mind, automatically just makes me think of writer or politician, right? Like politicians are known for what they've said and what they've promised and what they articulate in their speeches than what they actually do. Because They don't really do nothing, but but they speak very well and they win the hearts of people by their speech, and they're known for what they said or what they've addressed, right? So that would be Gemini in the 10th house as the midheaven. Moving on to Cancer. If Cancer is in your 10th house, this means that Moon is ruling your 10th house, which means that you are going to be seen and needed in the public sphere as someone who is a nurturing figure, someone who makes you feel like home or takes care of you and heals you and nurtures you. And so this automatically makes me think of someone who's a nurse or a holistic healer, or someone who is hosting events in some way, maybe like anyone who's bringing people together or taking people. It could be a therapist, it could be anyone who makes people just feel good, and like that is what it's, and it's centered around healing them. Like you want to heal people and make them feel good. So nurses, doctors, therapists, event planners, I feel like that would be Cancer in the 10th house with Moon energy being there. I would suggest finding where your Moon is in your birth chart, and that would also help you figure out exactly what your career should be. Just find where it is in your chart and look it up. Like if you have Moon in the 5th house, look up what the 10th house Lord in the 5th house means, and you should get more insight on what that is. If anyone wants that type of video where I go through the lords in each house, let me know. I would love to do a video like that. Moving on to the 5th sign of Leo. If Leo is in your 10th house, this is going to mean that you are someone whose job is centered around you being in the spotlight. So like an actor or a celebrity or a socialite or an influencer, or anyone who they are is in the spotlight, in the forefront, being glamorous, being expressive, being bold and courageous and out there and all those things. I feel like that is the coolest placement to have, in my opinion, is to have a Leo 10th house. Like I would kill to have something like that. But I feel like that is what 10th house Leo, like that's so self-explanatory to me. Like Leo 10th house, it just means it's giving me very much fame vibes. Like you live for the red carpet, or you live to be known for something or leave a name behind. You want to be someone who is out there and get paid for it. So moving on to the 6th sign of Virgo. Virgo is going to be someone who their job is probably in service of something, and they probably have to crunch numbers a lot or take data, and like a data analyst or a programmer, an IT person, someone an engineer, someone who's giving service for the greater whole. Like they're behind the scenes, and like maybe they are the person who is building the devices so that the company can then go, hey, we have a new iPhone, right? But Virgos are behind the scenes actually making the phone, making the software, making the stuff, but they don't ever get the shine for it, because with Virgo energy, it's very behind the scenes energy. It's very of service energy. So they don't really need the spotlight. They just want to be an intricate part in the process of getting this thing done and out to the world. The recognition for it, they don't really need. They just need to know that they have helped and they have served. And that is Virgo. They have a very analytical mind. They're probably seeking to make something perfect, and their job is going to make them be the most meticulous, which is what they're very good at, is being extremely meticulous in their career, being perfect, like almost robotic level perfect in their job. So that is Virgo in the 10th house, Virgo midheaven. So with Libra being in your 7th house, just kidding. With Libra being in your 10th house, as Libra being the midheaven, this is going to lend itself to someone who is probably like a diplomat or a politician or a lawyer or a judge, someone who has the final say in something. Like they're going to be the person that gets to decide what's right and what's wrong. Like a therapist. What else? I feel like it could also lend itself into some beauty as well, like maybe makeup or aesthetics, maybe like an interior designer of some sort. That can be an option, but I get more law vibes and like judgment vibes, not judgment in a bad way, but just being the judge of the final say in something or what needs to get done, and delegate, like an HR person. Like you're someone that someone comes to be like, hey, here's two sides of a story, how can we make it right? How can we come to a conclusion? And we're coming to you because you know what's best for all of us. So that would be the 10th house with Libra being there. I would also suggest Libra midheavens to look up where Venus is in your chart. Where is Venus in your birth chart? Is it in the first house? Is it in the second house? Is it in the third house? This will determine what exactly you're meant to do in your job. It will also help you whittle it down, you know? Sometimes we want to know exactly, but the 10th house, just looking at the 10th house itself can be a little bit too general and a little too broad. So if you look up where Venus is in your chart, it should help you, point you in the right direction of what your job should be or what it's going to manifest as. That was my midheaven series. If you guys want me to do any more different types of videos, just let me know and I would love to make them. Stay tuned for my signs to the 11th house series. If anyone needs a birth chart reading or astro counseling, please hit my description box. There's some links down there below to book a reading with me, and I would love to help you with anything you got going on, career-wise, love-wise, anything you need. I promise the stars have a solution for you. I love y'all. Y'all have a good one, okay? Bye.